How's it going, guys? We are here. We're in Pro Tools today, which is different for this stream. Usually we're in Ableton Live working on television music and stuff. How's it going? Oh, geez, I made this window too small. Hang on, I can't see what your name is. Let's make that bigger. Queemy? I don't know how to say your name. I'm really sorry. But hey, how's it going? So today we are in Pro Tools because we're not going to be working on television music as we usually are. As the title suggests, we are going to be playing some metal. We'll be doing arranging for next week's cover song. Right now I'm doing every other Sunday I'll post a cover. And on the alternating Sundays I've been doing either an instructional video or a product review or something that's a little less intensive than the covers are because I couldn't quite keep up with one a week. But this is Pro Tools. I've got my my discrete 8 handling my guitar tone right now with a nice like dual rec simulating kind of thing. And this is my usual setup. This is my template that I use for all my cover songs. So just to take a look at what we have going on here. I will be working with, this is the version from Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is where I, like so many other people, was first exposed to the music of Fire Emblem. And it has the song Together We Ride, which is, you can see up here. This is the character select screen, I think, for Fire Emblem. I haven't played much Fire Emblem myself, so I can't say for sure. But here's that tune. So let's find the tempo of that first. You get to see my production process on these. And the first thing I do is work out a demo track of an original recording from the game. And here's how I handle that. First, we're going to use Elastic Audio and find the tempo of this piece. This is a really fast tune. We're at around 210 BPM. Oh, this song. Yeah, this song. I love this song. And using Elastic Audio, we're just going to line this up with our bar line here. So I have a real grid line I can match my arrangement to if I need to double check a chord or a melody voicing or something. And this saves me so much time when I'm working on these. And all I'm doing is finding these transients here and lining them up with bar lines. If you've worked with Pro Tools before, this is a pretty common thing to do. And all I'm doing is making this song fit my grid as best as possible. Okay, something funky must happen in the middle here. Okay, we're going to come back to that part of the song. How's it going, Rockman X? Named after some of my favorite games. All right, so let's start off with... Sometimes I do guitar first, sometimes I do drums first. I haven't decided yet. I think we're going to start with the guitar parts. This is just slightly different from how I usually track these. We'll actually be hearing the track through Pro Tools. Oops, as soon as I have my guitar volume on. Like that. But Oh, we got two of them going on here. Whoops. Okay. Usually I'm just monitoring through the discrete, but if I do that, you won't be able to hear it. So I have it running through Pro Tools as well. So I'm actually hearing it twice in my ears, which is a little weird for me, but I'll do my best to ignore it for the stream's sake. Thank you so much, Rockman X. So let's find our first notes here. So what's really cool is this song starts out in A, which is nice because my guitar is currently tuned to drop A. It's a 7-string guitar tuned to standard with the low, normally B string, tuned down to a low A, which gives us all the advantages of playing in drop C, you know. These really easy to reach power chords, and this nice kind of chuggy low sound we're looking for. I'm going to move just a little bit so you can actually see my guitar in most of the shots. Give me 1 second. Okay, that should be a little better. See if I can do this without blocking things with the mic too. So, let's get a guitar part tracked here. Now, there is a good chance we're going to be tracking a lot of this not quite at full speed, because I'm usually learning these songs as I produce them. So for most of the arrangement process, I have to record at like half speed or so, because I'm still figuring out how I even want to play it. So this might sound slow for a bit, but I'm going to remember that 210 is our final tempo for this. What's up, Alan? Good to hear from you. I think we can hang out closer to 210, maybe 180. Let's see where this goes. Get a quick track running. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of places I can go with that. Oh, boy, that's the last sound I ever want to hear. Okay. Just want to tune this real quick. Checked Audio Jungle, didn't see last week's song. It is not on there yet. It takes so long to get through Audio Jungle's review process. Okay, that's a lot better. I think I'm going to play just A for the first round, and then jump with the, which song is this going to be? This is going to be the Fire Emblem theme from Super Smash Bros. Melee. The official title is Together We Ride, which is the character select screen from a lot of the Fire Emblem games. Okay, and as always, we're going to double track this guitar part, which if you watched my How to Record Metal video, you know that's what we do here. Together We Ride? It absolutely is. We might need more than 2 guitar parts on this. We'll see. I want to switch to a harmony part for that second one. As I said, this is going to sound really slow for now because I'm still learning the song. We will speed it back up to tempo later. The next harmony is up there. Starts on E. Okay. You know what? I can't see a darn thing on my guitar. Give me 1 second. Just going to turn on the lights down here. There we go. There's our start. And let's write some drums for a second. Give me 1 moment to put down the guitar. Got a mess of cables here. So we're going to talk about drum programming for a little bit. And I know I've mentioned this before on... do I even have drums loaded? Let's see. Let's see what Slate Metal 2 sounds like. That's not bad. A little drier. Okay. So, greetings from Argentina. How's it going? So, programming drums for metal is a little bit different than programming drums for the pop and EDM stuff we were doing before. Walk this back up here. Okay. All the same concepts apply, but we're going a lot more for realism than we were for EDM and pop stuff. Granted, I'm going to play live drums over this in the end, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. But while I'm demoing stuff, I liked it to sound like real drums. So here we go. Subscribe to my channel a short while ago. Do some really great covers. Thank you so much, Cheap Pop Man. So let's first recreate that little intro we have. No sound. Hang on. Wrong octave. And I want everything as loud as possible. Let's try that again. So there's our little intro. Check it out. And we can get back up to tempo now. So one of the trickiest things to do with drum programming is learning what notes make what sound. There's a few consistent things, which, oh man, you can't even see because of how I have the stream set up. Let's move things over here a little bit. There we go. That's better. C1 right here is always your kick drum. D1 is always your snare drum. These three black keys, the A sharp, G sharp, and F sharp, are your hi-hat, open, the foot, and closed. And then from here on up, it gets a little bit confusing, but those are the basics. I will be using just about everything here, though. Thank you so much. Okay, I gotta readjust this mix here. So with all of this, I'm thinking of how I would actually play it on the drums. For example, these two hits are going to be a little bit softer because that's coming out of a big section of the drums and it's leading back into a really big hit. So I want them to be a little quieter. And this is one of my favorite Pro Tools features, one of the main reasons I record things in Pro Tools over most other DAWs, except when I'm producing EDM, which I use Ableton for. It has these amazing velocity functions for programming stuff. Check this out. So I want this little group of snare hits to kind of curve upward in loudness. And with that, I can do that right there. And now this sounds nice and nice little drum fill. And there's our little drum intro. Cool. I want to try a different drum sound. I'm just not getting the vibe I want from it. Okay, that's my favorite drum kit in Steven Slate. It's the one I use like 99% of the time. I wanted to try something different, but I didn't want anything different. The CLA Hybrid is my favorite kit in there. It is named for Chris Lord-Alge, who is an amazing mix engineer. I particularly like his work on the Paramore albums. He really makes those sound punchy and huge. Thank you so much, UCD Jeebus. And Sheepop Ma'am, am I doing other themes from Fire Emblem? I am going to do the medley they did for Super Smash Bros. Melee, just because that is such a nice pairing of themes, and it's, I think it's the most well-known themes from the game because it was in Temple in Super Smash Bros. Melee. That's where I first heard it. That's where a lot of people I know first heard it. So I'm putting those together in that way because I like the sound of it together. So there we go. This just needs a bass part. Get my headphone cable around that. All right. My trusty Ibanez sound gear, which very soon I'm going to rip these pickups out and put some Aguilars in. which I'm really excited about. And as I have a way to record this without the amp sim. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't think I'm tuned correctly. There it is. Real quick, let's tune this guy up. Hope we only have to do this once tonight. Dune, the Battle for Arrakis. I want to check that game out. I've heard a lot of really cool things about the role that played in early RTS development. The guys who made StarCraft talk a lot about Dune as being like their big competitor at the time. I will definitely check out the music from that. Any particular tunes from it? Mila's Divine Protection. I don't know the exact name of that. Is that later in this medley? Because there's the piano interlude here. Oh, where'd that go? Because I love this piece. And I have a really cool plan for it. And after that, there is this one. Which sounds really weird slowed down. Is it one of those two pieces? I hope so. I don't know them by name exactly. The only one I really know by name is Together We Ride. All right, here's our bass part. That was really fun. I'll definitely check out those songs, Kimi. All right, there's our bass part. And let's, while we're at it, let's throw in the bass to the next section. What is the bass line here? Okay. Pretty straightforward. I might change the rhythm on this later. Unfortunately not. Then I will get to it in another cover. I will take a listen if I like it. What's my first note? D. Okay, cool. Had the chords wrong. Okay, that's the bass for now. Haha, really? The Flying Battery one is one of my favorites I ever did. I actually recorded that like probably a year before I posted it, the Flying Battery tune, and it just sat on a shelf because I had a lot of stuff going on and kind of took some time off from YouTube. So that's one of the first ones I did when I got back to doing YouTube seriously, and I'm Really glad I got around to it. Oh, geez. I really want to write some kind of interesting rhythm for this. I don't know. Well, let's just try a really straightforward rhythm, then we'll maybe mess around with some interesting stuff. Spark Mandrill's theme, too. Spark Mandrill's theme is no joke. That's probably the hardest I've ever worked on a cover. Trying to get that, that freaking... That's like the hardest thing I've ever had to learn for one of these. But I love that riff. That's actually the first time I played it since I recorded that. I forgot how much fun that was to play. Okay. Completely forgot the pattern I had for that. I may just copy and paste that over for now. All right, second guitar part. Yeah, I can play guitar. Okay. What is the line there? Jeez, come on. Cool. We're going to drop in our intro part there. Because, like I said, we're just sketching it out right now. Oops. Oh, come on. Cool. And that drum part's going to go back in there too. Okay. Rockman X, it just takes a lot of practice, that's all. If you want to check out the tabs for Spark Mandrill, I do have them on my Patreon. That is an option. But mostly it's just running scales as much as you can, learning as many songs as you can, and practicing a little bit every day. I'm going to totally regret putting that splash cymbal in there, because I don't actually own a splash cymbal. I got to buy a splash cymbal. Okay, nice variation in the kick pattern. How long have I been playing? Ivan the Terrible asks. I have been playing guitar for 15 years now, and everything else musical kind of came with and after that. Actually, I guess I've been playing drums about a half a year before that. So drums and guitar about 15 years. Got into music production shortly after picking up guitar when we got not even an iMac. It was called an eMac. It was really close to an iMac. It's like a knockoff iMac. Still made by Apple, but it was different. That was the family computer, and it had GarageBand, and I started recording myself. And the rest is history. Okay, so let's cut out this, oh, not the drums. Cut out the demo track for a second, and we're going to throw a guitar lead on here, finally. Now, I don't love the lead tone I'm getting right now. We will probably exchange this for a tone from Guitar Rig or Bias later. This is really just for arranging purposes. That sounds right, right? Let me just get a little more gain here. If I can get something a little mellower, maybe? I don't know what it needs. Oh. The way this falls on the guitar makes it really awkward to play at points. Fun. And you just saw how I play when I'm still learning a song. That was rough. Let's do one more take. There's no good way to get to that note. I might have to use that fingering up there. Okay. Cool. And there's a real funky second harmony thing going on here. Let's listen to it for a second. It's a lot more pronounced on like the old NES version, but they do a good job of mimicking it here with this second trumpet part. Check it out. It's like this second note that jumps in for a second. It's super weird where it sits. In the original NES version, it just played the opposite version of the Oh, thank you, Remington. It just played the opposite version of the lead line. Here's what it sounds like in the original NES version. Except we can't hear either lead line. Hang on. Actually, I can't even mimic how it sounds because I don't remember. But let's see if we can. We are going to really drop the tempo on this one because I'm figuring out what the heck is going on here. I might do an octave double for the first one, so that'll sound like this. Oh, geez, that was wrong. What is the harmony the second time? Now you get to watch me flounder around while I look for the harmony. I didn't love that. Just want to listen to the original a few more times. Because, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. Okay, what's that harmony right there? Okay, and then I don't think there is a harmony there, but I want to add one. Okay, we're going to take it way down. How's it going, Zero? Getting closer. I think I'm ready to run that at full speed. One more try at that. Oh, geez, that was really close. We're just gonna start right there. Right there. Good night, UCD Jeebus, and thank you so much, Zero Runner. So I think here is the point where we're going to split these guitar parts off into separate tracks, because I want this this kind of interlude thing to sound really different tonally from the chorus, the main thing, you know? Okay, and here's where we would go into that second theme. I just want to spend a little more time on this verse, or this chorus here. Feels like there's something missing there. I'm going to add one more lead guitar track and do an octave double. So this will be playing the same line as the first lead guitar, just down an octave. And thanks, Steve. Yeah, Tuesday's really the only night that works with my schedule for this, so it's works out really well. I don't have to be up early on Wednesdays, so I can keep going with this and then finish other work I have later. And this is one of my earlier nights that I stopped teaching, so that's good. Some nights I go to like 7:30. All right, so I'm gonna double this down an octave. Here we go. Okay, so that makes this a lot fuller sounding. I just doubled the lead guitar, but instead of being up here, I was down here. Do I also sing? I really try. I don't think I sing very well, but I did actually sing professionally for a while on a cruise ship and play guitar. So somebody thought it was okay enough to pay me. I didn't agree with them, but yes, I do sing. I sing in a couple of my videos. Happy, a while ago, I did a Happy cover that I sing in, and I recently sang on the Power Rangers cover I did. I am starting up vocal lessons with a very good friend of mine who's a ridiculous singer, so I'm really psyched about that. Maybe I'll do some more singing on the channel when that starts to take. All right, and I think the thing we're missing on this right now is a little bit of echo on our lead guitar. Here is my favorite echo effect. This is Soundtoys Echo Boy. Soundtoys makes some amazing, amazing effects. Their saturator I use a lot. And, oh, thanks, Toy. That's my wife writing in from upstairs. She's literally sitting about 20 feet that way. Thanks, Tori. So let's see how this sits in here. So here's how our lead guitars are going to sound there now. I'm going to get just a little bit of isotope alloy involved. This is my go-to EQ and compressor and just about anything else you can think of. Love you too, Toy. And yeah, go check it out. It's there's some fun stuff on there. Happy. I'm trying to think if I sing in anything else. There's some really, really old videos where I sing. I don't support watching those, but Happy sounds. I'm at least okay enough with Happy to tell you to go watch that. So let's see if that lead guitar. Oh, just to tell you what I just did in Alloy because I was busy talking about myself. I'm using a high-pass filter right here to cut out some of the lows in the leads. So here's a little bit of what we're doing there. Just because here's what's going on down there. This is the sound we're cutting out. It's just a lot of gross pick attack sound and nothing we want interfering with our mix. So I'm rolling off really high, up around 300 hertz. I'm going to do the same thing with our rhythm guitar part, though I'll stay a little bit lower because we're trying to keep some of that nice 7th string kind of groove in there. This will be around 137, 145, looks like we're ending up at. I'm just guessing. Let's take a listen. Basically, I'm trying to pull it up far enough that I don't hear a difference because anything below that is stuff I wouldn't want to hear anyway. And finally, let's spend just a little bit of time on our bass tone. It's so low and beefy. I really need to put thicker strings on my bass because it's not holding its tune very well down at that low A. Let's get Alloy working on the bass as well. We're going to do a little bit more to this. This is Alloy's harmonic exciter, which adds just a little bit of distortion in specific frequency ranges. And I can use it to kind of add some bite to the higher end of this stuff. So here's what the higher end of the bass tone sounds like, which gives it a little bit more attack. Here's what the lows sound like. Cool. Then I'm going to run it through a multi-band compressor. I'm really going to use it more like an EQ, but I like using it this way because it can be really, I can push it really hard. It gets really, a really profound effect on the bass tone immediately. So here's the difference in sound we're getting. And I'll bring it down to unity gain just so you actually hear the difference in tone. So here's with and without. There's just a little bit more beef, a little bit more aggression, and then finally we are going to add a little bit of compression, just regular single band compression in parallel. So you can just feel how much energy we're adding to that bass part. Putting it back into the mix, we have Haha. I want to play that fill exactly because that's such a cool fill. So let's learn that fill. Slow it down just a little bit. Okay. Just to talk you through what the heck just happened on screen, it's this nice 6-note pattern. Oops. There it is. 6-note pattern. Snare, snare, tom, tom, low tom, kick. So, do, 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 kick. We play that twice. And then flam on the snare. So that's 2 snare hits, just slightly spaced apart, and then a kick. And we get this nice. It's a really cool fill. That's one of my favorites. I actually do that fill really often. I just couldn't recognize it in the mix there. There you go. Okay, now I have a weird idea. If anybody's into the band Animals as Leaders with Tosin Abasi, who's like the single most ridiculous guitar player on the face of the earth, I got an idea for this groove from, I want to say it's off their first album. I can't be absolutely sure. Or it could be off The Joy of Motion. I'm not sure. I listen to them both so much. But there's this one groove that's really, really sick. I can't play it on the stream or I'll get like demonetized on here. If I think of the name in the future, though, I'll like comment it on here or something. But there's a really cool groove that I'm hoping to recapture some of the essence of. Okay, let's find those notes. I don't think that changes for that entire section, right? And then we're into that next section. Cool. I'm going to double that an octave up. Okay, and I can duplicate it out from there. Cool. Okay, now the idea I have... God, this might suck. I don't know. Usually when I have an idea like this, it ends up sucking. Let's see. What is our first chord here? Okay, we have a nice low E flat. I'm going to chug that kind of pattern over this, under this piano groove. And when we put it all together, it might work out. I don't know. Hang on. We'll see. I got to change chords. I actually don't want to... I want to go full hemiola with this. You classical theory nerds know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to reset that pattern when the bar line ends. I'm going to continue that rhythmic pattern over that bar line. It's going to be weird and gross and difficult, but I think it'll pay off. I got off from my other one. Shoot. Wow, okay, cool. So that's a 6/8 pattern being played in 4/4. So every measure, it ends up in a different place in the bar. It'll be obvious. It'll be a little clearer what's happening when I read out the drum part in a second. I'm just going to hit the bass part real quick. And I can do this faster. I don't need to take this at 150. Ah, I lost it halfway through. Let's see if we can pick up halfway through. Yes, okay, cool. There's our bass part. Hey, Gustavo, good to hear from you. I did get your email. I will be writing back to you with information about that soon. I would love to help you out with that project. Okay, we're going to get the drums involved. I'm going to hate actually playing this live. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Okay, so here's this 6-beat long pattern. 1 and 2 and 3. I'm going to duplicate that without any respect to what's happening on the bar line. So some measures it ends up being 1 and 4. This measure it ends up being 1, 2 and. This measure also ends up being that. And then finally we have this 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. So the it's like this mutating, you know, weirdly half repeating pattern that works out really cool and is going to drive drummer me insane. And I have a few ideas on how to handle the drums. I'm just going to kind of try them all. Yeah, that one didn't work. In fact, I'm not sure I want to keep that rhythm on the kick drum until later in this. We'll see. This is going to be hell to play live on drums. Move this to a guitar I can actually hear. There we go. I'm going to go to a really heavy halftime breakdown groove right here. If it works. Pro Tools didn't like that. Pro Tools didn't like that at all. You like the original one? I don't blame you. This is really, really, really different from it. And sometimes I like taking things in a very, very different direction. So, I'm sorry if this isn't quite the way you prefer this song, but this is what I'm feeling right now. Let's get a limiter on our master bus here, just because it's starting to get out of control. And I want to hear things a little beefier. We are going to turn down the volume overall, though, so... So let's hear what we got so far. I think that's where we're going to leave it for now. I had so much fun arranging that. This is definitely the cover for next Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, but the one after it. So this will be up on the 18th, the morning of the 18th. And I don't know, I might take a little peek into this session next week too, depending on what we end up doing at next week's live stream. Just an FYI, the live stream after, or the Tuesday after next week, so the 20th, I will not be here. I have a gig playing banjo. I'm in a musical production of a show called Anything Goes, and I've been hired to play the banjo, which is really funny because I don't consider myself somebody who knows how to play the banjo, but again, well enough that somebody can pay me for it. Thank you so much, Ivan. So we're going to call it for tonight. I had a blast with this. Came out really fun. Yeah, so I will see you guys next week. We might be doing a little bit more of this or a different song or something. Or it might be some more pop music production. I have no idea. I have so much fun with all of it, though. What instrument do I not play? I don't know. I'm pretty much limited to keyboard instruments, fretted string instruments, so no violin or anything, or cello, and drums. Outside of that, I don't really have anything going on. I've tried my hand at saxophone and stuff, but it does not go that well. So yeah, fretted string instruments, keyboard instruments, and drums. Any kind of percussion, xylophone, anything like that. But that's it. All right, well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Everybody who spent some time here tonight, thanks for stopping by. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week.